we do catch the guy, and thank you. Have a good day.
But the detectives had one last secret. The entire building was surrounded by officers.
267 to the arrest team.
Stand by. I told you, they're gonna book him anyway.
Nick, you're staying.
Hey,
Put your hands behind your back.
turn around, man.
Nick pretended he had no idea what was going on as he was handcuffed and put into the back of a police cruiser. Months before this arrest, Fresno and Tulare County authorities reopened the murder case of 22-year-old Debbie Dorian, which had remained unsolved for 23 years.
What's going on, man? It's your boy Grubz. You already know what it is. Be back. Be back with another goddamn video. You saw the title of the video. You know what it is with me, man. Stop fucking around with the police. You fuck around, you find out. Or the cops might find out because they do dickhead and corrupt shit too. But we gonna see who found out today. If you fuck with the content, you know what to do. You hit that like and subscribe button and check out more content on the channel because we always keep it coming over here. Always. Stop fucking playing, bro, for real.
My name is Vince Zavala. It's Bob Sodas.
This is 52-year-old Nicky Dwayne Stain, the manager of Charlie's Philly Cheesesteaks. Nick has been hiding a terrible secret for over 2 decades, but he isn't the only one hiding something. After hearing the detectives' names, Nick just realized that his dark past has finally come back to haunt him.
We're doing some grunt work here. We're looking into a matter that happened a while ago. Take 5 minutes. Okay. That's fine.
Detective Zavala, with his hidden camera still rolling, sat down and showed Nick an old photo of a young woman.
Have you ever seen that girl? Nope. Nope. You don't know her? Okay. You've never committed any violence against her?
No, I haven't done anything. I don't know her, so I wouldn't know how to.
Yeah. So have you never committed violence against anybody?
No, no violence.
This is not random. He should be worried, okay? Because, right, if this was from a long time ago, and they came to you to talk to you about this, they got a tip, bro. They know something. Alright? They know something. And they're either there because they know something and they're trying to see what else they can get, or they trying to set you up to book you and you about to go to jail, bro. So either way, you fucked up.
It's against anybody.
Her name was Debbie Dorian. She was found murdered. You didn't kill her, did you?
No.
Nick continued to deny any involvement in this murder. However, he was extremely standoffish when he was
And he straight up asked him, "You didn't kill her, did you?" Why would he tell you right then and there?
asked to provide his DNA.
We've been asking everybody we talked to if they would voluntarily give us an oral swab to compare to evidence that's at this scene. But if you haven't been there, I mean, you know, it's just kind of a mundane thing.
Yeah, it sounds like, I don't know, that sounds like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Clearly, he didn't plan on cooperating, so the detectives ended the interview and Nick kindly escorted them outside. He chatted with them for a bit longer and wished them luck with their investigation.
Yeah, I hope you find him.
I hope we do catch the guy, and thank you. Have a good day.
But the detectives had one last secret. The entire building was surrounded by officers.
267 to the arrest
I
team.
told
Stand
you.
by.
I told you, they're gonna book him anyway.
Nick, you're staying.
Hey,
Put your hands behind your back.
turn around, man.
Nick pretended he had no idea what was going on as he was handcuffed and put into the back of a police cruiser. Months before this arrest, Fresno and Tulare County authorities reopened the murder case of 22-year-old Debbie Dorian, which had remained unsolved for 23 years.
Go ahead, ma'am. My husband just called and went to his daughter's apartment. She didn't show, and he found her dead in her apartment. Okay, tell me what your daughter's name is. Her name is Deborah Dorian.
Family members and neighbors say Debbie Dorian, a Fresno State student, worked hard and had plans to specialize in audiology. According to police, Debbie's dad found her body in her bedroom early this morning.
She was lying face up. Her mouth and nose had been taped shut with some gray-colored tape that prevented her from breathing.
Using the killer's DNA collected from Debbie's body, they constructed a family tree, and through the process of elimination, they were able to pinpoint exactly who the DNA belonged to. This led them to Nick, a 52-year-old divorced father of two and a longtime resident of Visalia. After escorting him to the police department, they sat down for an interview, hoping to elicit a confession and expose this wolf in sheep's clothing. However, before they could even ask him about Debbie, Nick immediately caught them off guard by confessing to another set of horrific crimes.
Nick, you know why you're here today?
Yeah, I do know why I'm here. I know I've done a couple things that here in Visalia that I shouldn't have done.
So when you say a couple things in Visalia, what are the couple things that you're talking about?
Oh, there's a couple times that I approached women that out on the street that, and stuff and coerced them into having some final. And so those are things I shouldn't have done.
Against their will?
Yes.
The detectives pulled up their reports from the crimes they suspected Nick was referring to and read them to him one by one, trying to corroborate his confession.
Suspect pulled a sweatshirt over his face and then placed a handgun in her side. He escorted the victim and concealed their location behind some bushes.
That might have happened. I think that one happened.
She was standing alone waiting to catch a bus. Suspect approached the victim. Suspect told the victim not to run or he would kill her.
I say that sounds like me, but I don't think that was me.
Nick took full responsibility for 4 separate assaults and showed no signs of remorse.
Do you recall what you wore during those?
I recall wearing a hoodie. This is something I had.
When they asked Nick why he would commit such vile crimes, he said that his past trauma had led him down the wrong path.
We are.
Bullshit, nigga. This man is the devil in human flesh. Do not blame your traumas for what you're doing right now, okay? You made a decision, man, hurting these people. All right. And at the end of the day, man, everyone's trauma is different, right? But your trauma does not justify you hurting other people. It explains why you do it. It explains why you do it, not justify it. You know what I'm saying? Because all you're doing is spreading that pain that you've been through 10 times worse on the other people that didn't even put you through that shit. Because I guarantee you this trauma that you do have in your life, it didn't come from those people that you're hurting. A lot of the trauma that comes in people's life, it comes from their family. It comes from people that, you know what I'm saying, that they knew. You know what I'm saying, that's close to them. It's deeper than this.
I kind of like had some bad things that go on in my life, and I could say that I've had a problem with I guess, their addiction. If you have my phone, you'll be able to see that because it has like 400 videos on it of probably 100 different women.
Nick's addiction resulted in a strange lifestyle where everything he did revolved around getting attention from women. This is evident when looking at his digital footprint. The detectives found his secret Facebook profile under the alias Nick Steele, the chairman of a Fortune 5...
You a fucking loser. Nick Steele? Really? Nick, you are a loser.
500 company who lived a lavish lifestyle, drinking and partying with a multitude of women. Nick would often invite these women back to his place and lead them to his bedroom, which he had converted into what some may call a playroom.
I had saw pictures of those types of rooms, dark rooms, on the internet. I said I wanted to paint it that way. Now everybody who sees it says it's great.
Nick admitted that these women were mostly escorts. Apparently, he had been paying for these services ever since he was in high school.
Like
I fucking said, a loser, man. You've been tricking since you was a young boy? What kind of shit is this? You've been tricking? You look like you in your 50s right now. He said he was in his 50s? You've been tricking since your teens? So you've been tricking for almost 40 years. You a loser, Nick.
So many encounters with women. You know, I'm talking about like paid for encounters or this or that, or like start chatting with them and all the next thing we know we're doing something. To tell you the truth, I don't really think that hiring an escort or having a sugar babe or anything like that, I personally don't think that that's a wrong thing. I'm a single guy for the last 2 years, and it seems like really the only women that pay me any attention are the younger ones.
After telling the detectives all about his promiscuous lifestyle, he finally addressed the main reason he was there.
The detectives there today before you guys arrested me, you brought up an interesting case. One that, it does shock me.
Although Nick initially claimed he had no clue who Debbie was.
Have you ever seen that girl? Nope. Nope. You don't know her?
He must have had a change of heart after being thrown into the interrogation room, because Nick now claimed that he did, in fact, know Debbie quite intimately.
I was with that girl, several times and stuff like that. You were? Yes, I was. So, to be honest with you, she was, I picked her up in Fresno there on the street there at one time. After I dropped her off, I thought that was going to be the last time I seen of her. Okay. And then she, found her way to my workplace, on other occasions and asked me if I, would want to again.
This was the first time that the detectives had heard of Debbie having a secret double life as an escort. The question is, does the evidence align with this story? And if Nick didn't murder Debbie, then who did?
I think he did it, because he seemed like a freak-ass nigga, bro. I'm gonna keep it a whole bean. He give me like he a freak loser vibes, man. And the fact that he been paying for escorts since he was in his teens is wild. And I'm saying, like, have you ever gotten a woman on your own without using your money? Because that would have been my next question. You've never got a woman on your own without using your money? That's crazy. Not only that, right? Now all these crazy relationships with women, you got all these you a secret freak behind doors. You know what I'm saying? What's up with this murder? They wasn't even hear about that. You dealing with escorts and you assaulting women. We wasn't even talking about that. So now we know that you a potential offender and a murderer. Now let's see. Let's keep going.
Before Debbie was murdered back in 1996, she was trying to find someone to split her rent with and had a list of potential roommates that she had recently interviewed. One of the people on this list, named Alvin, called the police when he heard about Debbie's murder because he was one of the last people to see her. It turned out that he had already signed a lease and was going to move in. But the detectives became suspicious of Alvin when they looked into his background and discovered that he was a registered offender. They immediately brought him in for questioning.
Detective Garcia's the interview with Alvin. What did you do when you went there? I knocked on the door, she invited me in. What time was it that you got there? It was 6, 7. You told me something about the door knock. Do you remember what that was? On Wednesday night, I knocked on the door. Nobody answered. The blinds were open. The TV was on. Close to what I could see on the wall. And when I knocked on the door, nobody answered. I tried the door. Like 4 times, the door was unlocked.
Alvin claimed that he didn't go inside her apartment, but the detectives found it strange that he would open the door at all. However, Alvin said that his friend Maurice was with him and could vouch for him, so they brought Maurice in for questioning as well.
So you've never seen this girl, don't know what she looks like, never talked to her?
No, not from all this started happening at first. I never seen her, or just heard her voice on the phone. And then recently, like when we were talking, I've seen a picture on the news.
Although this interview was initially set up to corroborate Alvin's story, the detectives wondered if Maurice could be involved in the murder as well. Since Debbie was discovered bound at the hands and feet, they asked him if he had ever tied someone up. He said that he wasn't really into that sort of thing, and the only duct tape he bought recently was to repair his punching bag.
I think I have a receipt for it in my checkbook. I bought 2 things of duct tape to tie up the ends of the rope.
But at this point, the detective interviewing him hadn't specifically mentioned duct tape at all, and that detail hadn't been released to the public yet. So why would Maurice volunteer that information? Following the interview, they compared Maurice's DNA to the DNA on Debbie's body, and although it wasn't a perfect match, they were unable to rule him out as a suspect.
Our investigation is that you were the one that did this.
No, I am not the one who did this. I have nothing to do with this at all.
Right.
How many times I tell you I did not go inside this apartment. I do not know this person. I never met her.
They believed that Maurice was lying about his involvement, so he was charged with Debbie's murder.
Maurice, you have to understand something. Okay, you're under arrest. for murder.
As legal proceedings got underway, it seemed that the police investigation into Debbie's killer was over.
An arrest was made in the death of Deborah Dorian.
I think it's great. I mean, hopefully
That's so fucking crazy, man. So they wasn't even sure that his DNA matched and they still locked man cuz up anyway. This is the bullshit I be talking about, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I hope they didn't railroad him.
it's the right person.
However, this arrest didn't align with some of the most crucial evidence. One of Debbie's neighbors came forward and said that he saw her answer the door for a white male after Maurice and Alvin left her apartment.
He walked up the stairs. He basically knocked on the door, and it wasn't a confrontational kind of encounter, but she let him in.
Also, Maurice had an explanation for why he brought up the duct tape during his interview.
What made you mention that? Somebody mentioned duct tape or something like that.
I felt like the cop mentioned duct tape first. Hold on. We're 11 minutes and 12 seconds in. Let's go back. Who mentioned duct tape first?
As well.
So you've never seen this girl, don't know what she looks like, never talked to her?
No, not from all this started happening at first. I never seen her or just heard her voice on the phone. And then recently, like when we were talking, I've seen a picture on the news.
Although this interview was initially set up to corroborate Alvin's story, the detectives wondered if Maurice could be involved in the murder as well. Since Debbie was discovered bound at the hands and feet, they asked him if he had ever tied someone up. He said that he wasn't really into that sort of thing, and the only duct tape he bought recently was to repair his punching bag.
Okay. They asked him if he tied somebody up, right? And if they showed him the photos, that's probably why he mentioned duct tape. Or, yo, man, we know that duct tape is used to tie most people up in most situations. So, yo, the only duct tape I use, he probably like, man, y'all probably saying something because y'all seen my duct tape. That's for my boxing. That's for my boxing punching bag, bro. That's still not enough evidence. Let's go back.
Like that. Do you have any duct tape or do you know anything about duct tape or something? When was that? That was when I first came to the question.
This explanation was never verified by the police.
Right.
They also tested the duct tape at his house and determined that it wasn't even the same kind of duct tape that was used on Debbie. On top of all of this took place less than a year after the high-profile O.J. Simpson trial, which heavily revolved around DNA. So there was a lot of pressure on the police to be thorough and accurate with their DNA testing. The authorities felt obliged to redo Maurice's DNA test, and this time they were able to...
They should have just done that from the rip, bro. They shouldn't even put him through the whole ringer without it coming back with for sure results. And this is how you have innocent men go to prison.
Rule him out as a suspect. His charges were dropped, and he was once again a free man.
Thank you.
Maurice Dixon walked into court shackled at the hands and feet. He had been in custody for a little more than 2 weeks. Tonight, he is free, and the investigation into the Debbie Dorian murder case returns to square one.
Right now, we don't want to comment at anything at this time. We're just happy that he's being released.
Although this was good news for Maurice and his family, they were...
And this is the scary part about the justice system, is that it doesn't matter if you did it or didn't do it. If they can make a case against you, you can still go to prison.
Well aware of what this meant for Debbie's family and the rest of the community.
We know that there's someone out there that have committed this crime, and basically the city is afraid again. We know it's hard on her family also, because they have to go through it again, waiting to see who they may arrest next.
Every time something like this happens, it's like pulling the scab off a wound.
Our future's been taken away. We will not see a wedding. We will not see grandchildren. She will not get to have a life. The one thing we can do, and the one thing we strive to do, is to get the person who did this.
Debbie's killer proceeded to terrorize Fresno and Tulare County for the next 6 years. The DNA found on Debbie's body was tied to at least 8 other assault cases between 1996 and 2002.
We feel he's a predator. You never know when he's going to get the urge to hit again. You never know if he's going to escalate or whether he's going to go back to something else. He could strike at any time.
There is some very evil, demented predator out there.
The only significant lead during this time was another person on Debbie's list of potential roommates, someone named Nick. However, they were unable to figure out who this person was until 2019.
I did wrong, okay? And even the things that I did back, in here in Visalia, that those things are haunting me forever. But the thing in Fresno there, I didn't know that went down. I didn't know that happened. I didn't feel remorse for that or anything like that or anything because I didn't know that it happened.
Nick refused to admit that he had any part in Debbie's murder and continued to claim that any intimate encounters with her were consensual. But as far as the detectives were concerned, Nick's claims of innocence held no weight. He was charged for the 4 assaults that he admitted to, as well as the first-degree murder of Debbie Dorian. They collected his fingerprints and DNA, and he was booked into the Tulare County Jail.
Nicky Dwayne Stain is the primary suspect in the rape and murder of Debbie Dorian.
Nicky Stain is every woman's nightmare. He appears to be a regular person, and he is a predator.
I don't know if Debbie's family will ever have closure. My hope, our hope, is at the very least we have provided answers to the family and the person responsible for these unimaginable crimes.
See, that was over 20 years ago, over 23 years later, man. 23 years later, they caught up the main cuz. You know what I'm saying? This lets you know how when you kill somebody, the murders affect families, bro. You know what I'm saying? And, no, y'all think people just move on. They don't. They do. But then again, that shit stick with them. They still remember everything. They still talk about their brother, their sister. That feeling, that shit doesn't go away, bro. That shit stays with you forever.
We'll finally feel the total weight of our Justice Department. Thank you.
At Nick's arraignment hearing, he pled not guilty to all of his charges.
Wow.
So the prosecutors began preparing for the preliminary hearing, where the judge would decide if Nick's case would go to a full-on trial. During this preparation phase, Nick remained behind bars and made several interesting phone calls to his friends and family.
This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording.
Can you hear me, Nick?
Yeah, I can hear you. You know what? Those hurt people and things like that was in my past, I know I need to get punished for it. I just know that I'll be here the rest of my life.
Nick left little room for interpretation as he confessed to his crimes, but his friend couldn't seem to grasp what he was saying.
But you're innocent till you're proven guilty in my book. You know what you did, we don't. We're going to say that you're innocent until they prove otherwise, my opinion. That's the way America works.
Huh? What kind of front is this? I get it, y'all in the jail call, bro. Did your man do this? And we ain't talking about, like, friends in the streets or anything like that. No, he raped, excuse me. They say he raped and murdered a woman. I ain't supportive of you in this, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you did it, you on your own, bro. And we ain't friends no more. I don't want to be friends or be cool with or be associated with anybody that does this kind of evil, heinous shit. At all. This ain't cool on no level. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Bruh, and if the DNA match and everything sounds like you did it, I'm not even calling you in jail.
Hello?
Hello, Mom.
Are you innocent of any of those crimes?
Right, Mom.
No, not really, Mom. I was kind of like involved in all of them. I'm guilty. I did some bad things. I'm not trying to kind of like hide them. I'm ashamed of them, but they're there now, so it's just like, quit running from it, just take it.
The prosecutors knew they struck gold after hearing these phone calls
and
made them a focal point during Nick's preliminary hearing on November 28th, 2023.
He said 20 years ago he had done some bad things and hurt some people, and he needed to pay for what he did. She said that he had been struggling with demons all his life, and he said, I can't say I don't deserve what's coming to me, because I do.
They went through the rest of the evidence as well, including his interrogation, the DNA tests, and Debbie's list of potential roommates.
And what does it say by number 6?
By number 6, it has the name Nick, and then scratched out, or Rick.
They even tracked down the witness who saw Nick on Debbie's doorstep.
Do you see that person in the courtroom today?
Yes.
And could you point at him and tell me what color he's wearing?
Right now?
Yes.
Red.
Debbie's father was then called to the stand to describe the moment he discovered his daughter's dead body.
It was so shocking to me that I knew I had to maintain composure somewhat and not just fall apart.
Perhaps the most powerful testimony for the state was from one of Nick's first assault victims. Although this victim's testimony wasn't recorded in order to protect her identity during the trial, Jane Doe number 1 has since revealed that her name is Beth, hoping to inspire other survivors to come forward and get the help they need.
For decades, Central California has known her only as Jane Doe number 1, a victim. But she is a survivor, one of several women Nikki Stain assaulted after he killed Debbie Dorian in 1996.
And I stayed quiet, I didn't know the words to express without crying.
Court hearings were slow and forced her to relive her pain. She has found comfort in a therapy dog.
Dogs are so calming.
Even with a mountain of evidence against them, Nick's defense team claimed that he never explicitly confessed to Debbie's murder, even during the jailhouse phone calls, suggesting that this was just a repeat of what happened with Maurice Dixon.
This is crazy, bro. But you know what? I don't get mad at the lawyers because even though if you're a cold piece of shit, they're going to defend you. They're going to defend you to their last joint, bro, because it's their job. You know what I'm saying? It takes a different type of gut to be a lawyer, to really honestly go to work to defend somebody you know is a genuine piece of shit. That's crazy to me.
On the stand, Fresno County detectives wouldn't even admit that Maurice Dixon's arrest was a mistake.
So that's a mistake.
I'm not going to say it's a mistake, no.
You refuse to say that arresting the wrong man on
Are you crazy? So you're not going
to is a mistake? Did you get the right
He was eventually cleared.
Yeah. So
yeah.
If he was cleared, then that was a mistake, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Then y'all had the wrong man. So the level of ego and pride. Oh my God. You can't just say, yeah, we made a mistake. You made a mistake.
It's the wrong guy.
This strengthened the defense's point that the county will do anything to secure a conviction,
Exactly.
even if the evidence isn't reliable and they actually have the wrong guy. But in the end, the defense couldn't convince the judge to drop the charges. She decided that the state had enough evidence for a full trial by jury.
The defendant is held to answer on all counts and charges.
The prosecutors announced that they were going to pursue the death penalty, and Nick's trial was eventually set to take place in early 2026. However, in March of 2025, Nick's defense attorney Jane Bolger warned the Supreme Court that she would no longer be representing Nick if they didn't pay her more money.
And that is not lightly done. He needs to have effective counsel, and effective counsel needs to be able to work so many hours and days. In 5 years, I've been paid $43,000 for a death penalty case.
If Bolger withdraws...
Damn! I thought lawyers was getting it. They scamming you, cuz somebody, you tripping. 43,000 in 5 years? You can make more working at UPS, bitch.
County would have to find new attorneys for Stain, which would mean additional years of delay.
It would take 3 years to go through everything.
Thankfully, Debbie's family wouldn't have to wait that long for a trial, because a couple months later, on May 15th, 2025, Nick unexpectedly pled guilty to all of his charges.
Good.
First degree murder.
Guilty.
Sexual battery by restraint. Guilty or no contest?
Guilty, sir.
He pled guilty not just to avoid the death penalty, but to be accountable, and also for the families not to have to go through a trial.
Although Nick's defense tried to portray this as Nick taking accountability, behind the scenes, it was clear that this was not the case. When Nick's attorney initially proposed a plea deal, he only wanted to plead guilty to Debbie's murder and wanted all of the assault charges to be dropped. But the prosecutors held their ground, and Nick ultimately agreed to plead guilty to all charges, as long as he was protected from the death penalty. Debbie's family knew that Nick's decision was purely for his own benefit, but were still grateful that Debbie's killer was finally being locked up.
He admitted to what he did,
and that county, yo, they gotta do some work and look into that police department too, because that county's suspicious for having no problems. It shows you that some police counties have no problem putting innocent people in jail just so they can have a conviction rate, right? And then for that detective to be up there and really not admit that he made a mistake, even though they know damn well they locked up an innocent man, is fucking crazy, bro. And then y'all did DNA testing, and the DNA testing cleared him, which proved he was innocent, and you don't want to say you made a mistake. That's crazy.
you don't have to prove it or argue it or debate it. It's done.
We asked what Dorian would think.
She's going, Yahoo, Mom. Yeah.
Nick's sentencing hearing took place on June 12, 2025. Before the judge would announce his punishment, several people were given the opportunity to give an impact statement, including Jane Doe number 1, aka Beth.
My life changed forever that day. I tried moving on. I have tried to forget.
Your life has been extinguished.
She then read a passage that she had written from Debbie's perspective.
Adrenaline flooded my body. I screamed and screamed, but he didn't stop. He wrapped my head in duct tape, covering my mouth. I couldn't breathe. Everything went dark. I knew my life was over. I would never take a hike with John, the love of my life, spend time with my mom. I wouldn't have a wedding. I wouldn't be a beautiful bride. My dad wouldn't walk me down the aisle. I knew my death would break my mom's heart and change my dad forever. The pain that they suffer is deeper than anyone can know.
Despite the tragic circumstances, she ended her impact statement with a silver lining.
Though he took my precious Deb, he did not take my soul. I am wiser and stronger than ever from having to go through this ordeal. He has the rest of his life to pay for what he did, and he will pay for his evil actions.
In the end, Nikki Dwayne Stain was given a life sentence without the possibility of parole.
At this point, sir,
I believe he should have got the death penalty. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, these are some crucial and heinous ass crimes, bro. You know what I mean? And at first, you know what I mean, his team, his defense team, you know what I'm saying, they try to get all them other charges thrown under the bus with them assaults with all them other women. And the fucking police department, you know what I mean, y'all was about to lock up an innocent man just for the conviction rate, an innocent black man. Come on, bro. You know what I mean? And then, the detective didn't want to say we made a mistake, even though DNA cleared him. You still don't want to say you made a mistake, though. Come on, bro.
you are remanded into custody of Franklin County Sheriff to begin serving your time.
He currently resides at the California Medical Facility in Vacaville and will spend the rest of his natural life with the California Department of Corrections.
But you know what's the problem, too? Also, these kind of men, not all of them get the treatment that they need to get behind the walls, bro. And that astounds me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas be wanting to crack down on snitches. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to crack down on niggas that be ratting on niggas. You know what I'm saying? What about these people? These genuine pieces of shit people right here. You know what I'm saying? What about them? Had no problem violating women. Killing them. And then lying about it for years. To the point where they could have got somebody else locked up for their behavior. Watch out here, man. Please watch out. Y'all stay up, y'all stay cool. Y'all stay down, y'all stay out the way, man. It's your boy Grubz, man. And y'all stay dangerous. And I'm out this motherfucker, man.